Hello, and welcome to a video, or maybe actually a video series. Yeah, this is gonna be a video series. I know that for a fact. Well, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different from what we usually do on this channel. So you're used to me explaining how to make cool stuff and how to design buildings or objects in general, and me showcasing different 3D modeling packages. This is not going to be about that. This is going to be about me showcasing the design process from start to finish um, from a perspective of an architect, right? So we'll start by kind of getting introduced to a client and we'll end with a finished building, right? A building that is actually standing somewhere in the field. And hopefully by the end of it, the client is going to be happy and we are going to get paid. So I guess the first thing that I should talk about is the company for which I work. So the company is called Very Good Architecture Company, and I am a co-founder of it. And we do interior design of smaller scale architecture and small scale architecture, right? So individual housing and like duplex housing and so on. Nothing too big. And this company is 3 years old, 2 years old, something in between 2 and 3 years old. So at first we had to actually fish for clients and try and kind of put ourselves out there as much as possible to find clients to get work. But these days it's a little bit easier since after, I guess, a year, the first year and a half, we started finishing up our first designs, our first realizations. And suddenly we had a portfolio which we could showcase and which clients could access through, Facebook or any kind of other social media. So from there on out, clients would find us and would contact us about, us helping them out. And this is how these clients have contacted us. First, we did an interior project for them, for their apartment. And now we are going to be doing a house. So they liked the design that we made with their interior and decided that, these guys can do a house for us as well. So they called Olga, who's the CEO of the Very Good Architecture Company, and asked her for the price, the how long is it going to take, and so on. She gave them estimates, only the estimates, and in a week or so they have contacted us again saying that they want to proceed. At that point we needed to get some documents from them, and I'll talk about the documents. I guess that is step one, right? I should put like a step one, initiate contact, and then step two, get the necessary documents, right? So first, signing the contract with the client, about what is going to be delivered, as well as the preliminary schedule, as well as the pricing and so on, right? So you just have like a contract that both you and the client signs. So other documents that we got at this stage were basically everything that we need to know about the restrictions, limitations of the site, of the building that we can actually design, as well as the site itself, right? So I'm just kind of gonna quickly go through these and explain them. So in the site, there was an old building. So we have a document that enables us to demolish that building, or that enables the client to demolish that building. So that's good that we know that the old building is going to be demolished legally, in a legal fashion. Then we have the main site document, right? Which is basically, I don't know how to translate this, but it's basically all of the measurements of the site, right? And the most important ones are the restrictions for how intense the site is, as well as, of course, the size of the site as well. So as for intensity, currently the intensity is set to be, the density is set to be 0.17, and the intensity of the site is set to be 0.35, which means that with 0.17, if our, let me just grab a calculator real fast. If our site is 814 square meters and we multiply it by 0.17, that means that the footprint of the house, together with all of the consoles, everything that is sticking out from the house, cannot exceed 138 square meters. That means this is a very small house. As for intensity, that is the cumulative area, floor area of the building divided by the site area. So that would be, if it's 0.35, then 814 divided by 0.35. We have, multiplied, god damn it. 814 multiplied by 0.35, we get 284 square meters. So we basically are forced to build high with a very small footprint, right? So it's a given that this is going to be a 2-floor house. This is a very important document that I will be referencing quite a bit throughout this initial design stage, where I'm just getting accustomed to the site. And the last document that we got, the last official document, is just, yeah, that's nothing. Never mind. that is unimportant. It's just a register center document that the site is registered in the Lithuanian register center. Then we have one last document at this stage, and this one I feel like is it's important for every architecture company to have one and to send out. And this is basically our questionnaire for the client and the answers from the client to us. This enables us to re-reference every time when we are not sure about a design decision. We can always reference the answers to the questionnaire and just check out what is it that the client actually wants. And this is only used at the initial design stage, right? Later down the line, everything else is kind of dictated through, interaction between you and the client. So from this one, we understood that they do want a 2-floor house. They want 3 bedrooms and 1 working room or office in there. They want a sauna. They want the house to be at around 200 square meters, which is pretty big, in my opinion. They have a they have a motorcycle, and most of it is, yeah, and they want it to be 8.5 meters in height. Everything else is, debatable. So this is going to be something that I will be re-referencing. These are all of the documents that I have from there. And basically from here on out, we will take like a 5 work days to come up with the initial design proposal or proposals. For this project, 2 architects will be working on it, at least on the initial design stage. So it's going to be me, and also it's going to be Olga, who is the CEO of the company. And we are going to come up with 2 different designs, 2 different proposals, and just see what can actually happen in the site, right? Afterwards, we're going to have a meeting with the client and show our proposals to them. So this will get us to stage 3, initial design. So during this design stage, the initial design stage, how I like to work is by first rebuilding the whole site in 3D, right? Just in case if the site is hilly, if there are, the topography, if the topography of the site is quite dramatic, or if there are any trees that need to be kept. And actually, as I was going through the documents, I found that every single tree on the site will need to be kept. That was a very important statement to read, right, and to react to. So here I'm just kind of rebuilding the site and getting ready and placing the trees and finding all of the different altitudes. And thankfully the site wasn't that hilly, right? So at least that wasn't an even more like an additional limitation to what can be done. But we have talked with the client about the huge limitation as to the site density. And they said that basically they will try and push the site density to become 0.23 rather than 0.17 or whatever was it, which would bring us to closer to 180, 190 square meters for the footprint of the building, which is much more reasonable and will unlock much more design decisions, more drastic design decisions, because with a small footprint, you can't really do that much, right? So here I'm just kind of finishing up the site and starting to kind of create first sketches. And as you can see, there is a tree, a big tree, right in the middle of the site. So this will immediately dictate what kind of a building this is going to be. We can either do a U shape where the tree is kind of in the courtyard, we can do a cross shape, but the building will need to somehow go around the tree, right? So that was where I initially started kind of sketching different things and different ideas. And I'm going to show you the final result without actually showing the overall sketching process, because I don't think that is necessary. Okay, so in total we came up with 3 versions. I came up with 2 and Olga has come up with 1 more, right? And we already had our first discussion with the clients, but I'll keep it a secret for now. So I'm going to go through these versions real quick. The first one, of course, will take the longest, but other 2 will be faster. So I'll start with my version 1. Which is this guy right here, this maybe switching to Arctic view. Yeah, there we go. This building right here. It's basically a cross shape, right? We have a cross shape and we have this kind of one tree that we can't get rid of. Well, actually 2 more trees apparently were also limiting factors, but this one was the most intense one to deal with. So just looking at the drawings, and I think I have a PDF open. Yes, I do. So just looking at the drawing, basically we have an entrance right here. By the way, they wanted parking for 4 cars, right? 2 of them protected from the rain. So you have your parking, you have your entrance sequence right here. The hallway where you can put down your clothes. You have your shower and the sauna block, and the shower gets a large window with diffused glass, which is overlooking one of the trees right here, which I think would create a pretty interesting shimmering effect, because the branches of this particular tree are quite low and it has multiple stems, so it would kind of have a pretty interesting shimmering effect from the evening sun, right? North is, you can see here, north is located in this direction, upwards, right? So this is the evening sun will indeed hit the tree, and the shadows would fall in here. That's the first interesting moment of this particular design. Then as you go through the hallway, you can access the boiler room. Boiler room needs to be pretty big, and it's kind of tucked away underneath the staircase. Then you have the bathroom right here, and you have the garage for the motorcycle, as well as you can fit bicycles in there as well. And then the living room with the kitchen. So this is the weakest part of this project, or of this design, the kitchen, because you have a very economy-based kitchen. By the way, I didn't add windows here yet to the side walls, just because this is an initial design. You know, you don't really think about those things. You just think, you know, what works and what doesn't. So adding a window would be very easy. Anyway, this kind of corner kitchen is very economy class, and it's really a weak part of the project. Everything else is fine. Then you have the terrace and one more tree right there. If we look at the second floor, basically here you go up, you access the second floor, and you have what's a pretty weird area, and I can kind of show it to you in the 3D model. It's right here. This window, which leads to nowhere, right? That's a pretty weird area to have. But again, it shows the tree. It gives you that nice evening light. So it shines light onto the staircase, and it's purely like it creates this nook with. I just showed pillows in that nook right here. It creates this nook in which you can kind of just cuddle up and read while you get a little bit of that evening sun in there. I just find it to be romantic. I don't know. Would be a bitch to clean though, honestly. Anyway, moving on. You have the workroom, the office room, so to say. You have the cloth room, I guess, and where your washing machines are. These two rooms here. Then you have bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3, 3 bedrooms. Pretty generous with the square meters for the bedrooms. And you have the bathroom that serves the second floor with the walk-in shower. So that's the initial design, right? The most interesting part about this design is indeed the left-hand side kind of area with this particular tree here. Everything else is kind of okay. Then I decided, what if the client is a crazy one and wants to go a little bit, to the weirder side? What if we start working with angles? And given that, I decided to do a second iteration to the design, which was this thing right here, this building right here, right? Just quickly showing it to you. So it kind of has the same language as the initial design, only now we are dealing with non-90-degree angles and a little bit more intense plans. So just to quickly guide you through those. Basically, the entrance hallway requires us to take this whole area right here and rotate it just slightly so that this little hallway area here opens up and creates more space for you to take off your clothes and so on. Then you have your shower and the sauna right here with the same logic of looking at the tree. The parking logic is the same. The garage is kind of the same. Most of this is the same, but now you get a much wider area for the living room / kitchen, which enables you to create kitchen island, which I think is a much nicer thing to have than a corner kitchen, right? So this is already a better solution. And then you have the second floor, which is basically the same thing as we saw, before, right? So the second floor didn't change much. So, and that is the second iteration, second version. In terms of the numbers, right? The numbers for us to stay in are 0.23. Before it was 0.17, now it's 0.23 for the density of the site and 0.35 for the intensity of the site. So the density of version 2 of this Crooked version is 0.22, and the density of this one, version 1, is 0.20, right? So we're well within the range of what's acceptable, even though current density restrictions are 0.17, and neither one of these designs could be built, right? So we will need to wait and try to apply for a change of rules to the municipality, city municipality in Vilnius, not Vilnius, sorry, in Lithuania. So that is that, right? Again, two designs. The third design that Olga has done is right here. I should also change this to Arctic view. There we go. Let me just, why can't I select these curves? Okay. So CRV just for a second, hide. Come on. Sorry about that. So this is the initial design, right? From Olga's part. A much, it's a completely different take on this, right? So here I will draw a cross right here. Instead, Olga has hugged the tree with her building, and she has space for 2 cars underneath the roof and 2 more cars right here. And then you have, the rest of the building. So only this portion here is 2 floors, right? Everything else is 1 floor. This is the design. And if we look at the drawings, which I have right here, the basic principles are the entrance to the building is right here, and I will also try to show it to you here. The entrance is right here, and it's a see-through entrance, meaning that as you enter, you can go through the volume of the building and enter the inner courtyard straight up, right? So this is a pretty nice solution. Pretty nice solution right here. The hallway is pretty small though, doesn't matter. Then we have the boiler room and the garage right here. So all of the technical stuff is located right here in this area. And then as we enter here, first we are greeted by the sauna and the bathroom. The sauna and the bathroom are located right here. And then we have the workroom, the office space right here, the stairway to the second floor, and the kitchen with the island and the living room situation with a corner window, which is right here. You can see that currently the designs are empty. That's, we don't spend unnecessary effort on something that will be changed either way. We just need to get yes or no from the client with these designs. Second thing, or not second floor, sorry. You go up and you have bedroom 1, bedroom 2, and find bedroom 3. Oh, she didn't make a third bedroom. Okay, sure. Oh yeah, the third bedroom is the workroom. So the workroom kind of doubles as a bedroom as well. And then you have the bathroom and the closet, like the walk-in closet right here. So also interesting note is these skylights right here that were designed. I find them to be charming, right? So these are the three designs that we showed to the client and talked with the client about, which kind of moves us into this design iteration phase. So the next phase, design iteration. So usually you know that you are in this phase when right after the first meeting with the client, right? Because you then see how many things will need to be changed, and that from here on out is going to be a negotiation between what you want to design, and what client prefers and wants to be built. And it's always this kind of middle ground that you need to find for both you and the client to be happy. You know, you coming up with a design that you enjoy, and client also feeling that he or she were heard. So the first thing, like I didn't record the meeting with the client, and I think that's good because it took like 2.5, 3 hours to have that meeting, during which we discussed all of the benefits of all different iterations, all of the different versions. So during that meeting, this version right here was a definite no-go from the client and was immediately dismissed, which is fine. I mean, it's not, I understand that this kind of design is not everyone's cup of tea. So we got rid of that altogether and started just talking about this iteration right here, this version right here, as well as Olga's version, right? So for Olga, she got some criticism in terms of this particular facade right here, as well as some minor adjustments here and there in terms of the house. And for me, and I'm not going to kind of talk about every kind of bullet point that the client mentioned, but 3-hour meeting, there were a few discussion points I guess you can get from that. I will kind of talk about what the client marked out for me, right, in my particular design. So for this design, can we, sorry, just give me a second. There we go. This is going to be easier to see. So for this particular design, the client didn't really like how bulky the overall building looked, how heavy it looked. So that's one thing that I will need to tackle. Also, the square meters of this building were too much. So the client wanted the building to be shrunken down to be a little bit smaller. This particular area right here was a little bit too close to this tree. So we had to cut it out. And as I mentioned before, the kitchen was quite a weak part of this overall proposal. So the whole area right here will need to be reworked. And since this whole area will need to be reworked, the overall form will change drastically, right? So it's a complete remake of the building, but that is absolutely expected at these stages. So from here on out, we will be doing 2 variations or 2 proposals instead of 3, right? And after our next meeting with the client, we will decide on the, let's say, winning proposal. And from there on out, we will be doing design iterations with only a single proposal, be it mine or Olga's. It absolutely doesn't matter, because at this point, I believe that after we make these adjustments, both proposals will be will have pretty interesting and pretty nice designs. considering that this is a 3 or 4 day design. I think that we can pull through with this building and make it quite interesting. So, as I mentioned before, this is going to be a series of videos, and this was video number 1, where we initiated contact with the client, we got the documents, we started the design process, we had our first meeting where one of the designs was cut out, and we are left with 2 designs, and we will be making adjustments to them. I do have let me show you a real quick sneak peek. This is a sneak peek for the amended design. There we go. That's it. I'm not gonna show you the 3D model, but we have already made the second iterations of our designs, and we will be sending in to the client for them to prepare their remarks, and we will have a second meeting with them. Once that meeting is done, I will begin recording the second part of this video series, talking about the next stage, what we're going to be doing. So really hope that you will find this video or this video series useful, or be it you being a client or you being an architecture school student not knowing how the actual design happens and what steps need to be taken for the building to be realized. But yeah, just hope you'll enjoy it. I'm lost for words. Well, that's a first, I guess. Okay, I hope to see you soon. Later.